What's up? Dan Blewett here. In today's video, we're going to cover a pitcher's repertoire and what types of pitches are going to be best for if you throw a sinker or a slider, or if you're a high spin rate pitcher. So basically what I did was I did another Twitter poll, and this was the question. I'm going to put it right up here on the screen. You're coaching a hard throwing, high 3/4 arm slot collegiate relief pitcher with a high spin four seamer. He's a clean slate and needs two pitches to add to his repertoire. Obviously, that's not like a real world scenario. You wouldn't give the guy who just throws a fastball. But for the sake of this thought experiment, which pairing do you suggest he chooses? So the winning answer on this poll, which is 152 votes, was sinker and slider at 41%. Sinker and curveball was the least popular at 13%. Cutter and slider, 19%. Cutter and curveball, 26%. So really the only standalone winners were cutter, curveball, or sinker and slider. So I'm going to give my answer at the end, but here's my first take here. I think sinker and slider is a bad answer. I think sinker and curveball is probably a slightly worse answer. That was sort of like the least consensus, but sinker and slider is not, I don't think, a very good answer here. So number one, slider is fine. Obviously, if you're a high spin pitcher, here's what high spin rate does if you're a pitcher. It allows you to pitch up in the zone where the ball drops less over its flight than an average spinning four-seamer. And so it gives the appearance that it speeds up and it appears to rise a little bit on hitters. So when you throw up in the zone and your ball appears to rise, they're just going to miss underneath it, so they swing and miss a little more. Even if it's a little bit lower in the zone, they tend to get underneath it and hit fly balls and pop-ups. And so if you have a high spin rate four-seamer, you can pitch up in the zone a lot more effectively than guys who don't. That being said, here's the big thing, and the reason I think sinker is the wrong answer to give this guy. And I only gave you two options, which are sinker or cutter as a fastball variation, plus slider or curveball. Obviously, there's other pitches, but that was this point. Sinker is going to be the wrong answer because if you're a high 3/4 arm slot guy, it's tough to make a ball sink. You have to get off to the side of it a little bit. You have to get on the inside of it. You have to add some wobble to that sinker. So if you watched my morning brushback podcast with Barton Smith, who's an engineer, teaches aerodynamics at Utah State University, he talked about in his lab where they have a cannon that shoots baseballs, if you shoot, and their cannon only shoots stuff out with like perfect backspin. He said if you shoot a four-seamer and a two-seamer that both have identical backspin, they move exactly the same. There isn't really a difference aerodynamically from a four-seamer to a two-seamer when they're spun correctly. And that is actually good validation for a point that I had in another video, which is that two-seamers are usually not that good when thrown by young pitchers. They don't really make them move very well. Here's my point here. If you're a high spin rate guy on your four-seamer, that means you're good at two things. Number one, being very through the center of the baseball, applying your force very much through the center where you're not off tilt, you're not getting side spin here or gyro spin mixed in. And so you're very good at spinning it cleanly and fast. And then the other thing, so being through the middle is about spinning it very cleanly. The other thing is you're naturally good at spinning it fast. I don't know why I could spin a fastball very well. A lot of other guys don't know either. Why can a natural sinker guy naturally just have a lower spin rate and make the ball sink? I don't know. But basically, you're asking a high spin rate pitcher to suddenly, from one fastball to the next, not do the two things he's always done naturally well, which is be through the center of the ball and spin it fast. Now you're asking me on the next pitch, a sinker, to spin it slowly, because sinkers, we know that good sinkers have a much lower spin rate, and spin it off the center, meaning get to the top of it, get on the inside of it a little bit, so you add this tilt that actually makes a sinker sink. That seems like a tough thing to ask. To say, hey, Dan, you're naturally good at spinning a fastball very well and very fast. On the next fastball, I'm going to have you throw a sinker where you do neither of those two things. It's not really going to work very well. Again, adding a slider is totally fine. You see tons of dominant pitchers in the majors that throw 96, 97, and a great slider. No problem with that. A curveball works really well with the highest four-seamer because they both come out of the same tunnel, right? The fastball stays up, the curveball breaks down. We know that to be well. And the other thing is, with a high spin rate four-seamer, you can spin a cutter pretty well. A cutter is just basically a four-seamer that you tilt slightly. So it's still spinning like a four-seamer, but it's tilted. So that means it has a little bit of gyro spin, but it's basically traveling slightly off center as it goes towards the plate. So instead of great backspin, it's got still kind of great backspin at an angle, which means that there's some gyro spin in there. That was also explained by Barton Smith, so I highly recommend on my channel, check out that morning brushback episode. So hopefully that cleared up. I thought this was a really interesting poll. I found the results really interesting. I think the right answer is cutter and curveball. So if you were one of the group that chose that in the 26%, kudos to you. I think that makes the most sense given the information that I gave. High arm slot, it's tough to make the ball sink. Really good at spinning the ball, tough to make it sink. Really good at spinning it fast, naturally, tough to make it sink. So all those factors considered, I thought this was a really fascinating poll. Do you agree with me? Is this a good take, a bad take? Leave a comment below or leave a comment on Twitter, wherever, and we'll talk about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.